from a lot of different directions, not directions, different places. Like I'll go out and field record with my SP and a mic and get some sounds that way. I'll take it home and I'll sample off a record and YouTube. I'll sample friends just talking, making noises. I use a couple different phone apps that help me sample just like on the go too, that you could just press and just talk and then there's a sample, just easy, just like that. There's a lot of clicks and pops, a lot of just like dropping coins or just random noises. If I do take from a record, it usually is something like a main melody in a song, or I like to sample a lot of quotes or a lot of vocals that aren't necessarily an instrument or part of any instrumentation. Some of my main influences or people, I guess, who I've tried to emulate, trying to discover my own style, and people who inspire me also would definitely have to be people like, there's producers, of course, that are gonna be my main inspiration, like Jay Dilla and DJ Premier, all the I guess you could just, by knowing my music, you could tell, damn, this dude probably listens. So those are kind of givens, like Madlib, fucking Alchemist, people like that. But lately, I think it changes. It's definitely changed as I progressed as an artist, who my inspirations are, because my styles are changing. Lately, for the past couple of years, I would have to say Vex Ruffin has been a huge influence. Sales, and what was I listening to? I don't know. I listen to such a wide array of shit that I just kind of allow myself to be a sponge and be influenced by it all. Even my homies, even intelligent sound stuff, like inspired to do things and just take it in from everywhere. I've used both digital and analog hardware to make music. I started off with Reason 4.0, and to this day I still use Reason 4.0 sometimes when I want to do things a little differently, just to switch it up for a minute. But my main sampler of choice has been the SP404 and the SP404 SX. I had an MPC 2000 XL for a while that was really good for sequencing and running it through the 404 onto tape and back, however, into a digital song, I guess. Other than that, I got a couple synthesizers. I have an Ensoniq. I don't remember what it is. It's an Ensoniq synthesizer. It takes like these little cartridges. They have different sounds. It kind of sounds like, I like to describe it as 1980s Olympic gold sound. And then the other synth I have is a Little Fatty. And I love that fucking synth. it to death. It's just, you can feel it in your chest when you play it. The other little key component I use is a Fostex XR5, which is a 4-channel mixer, cassette recorder. You could basically record onto 4 channels onto cassette like you would in like Ableton or Audacity. It's just up to 4 tracks. So I use that to lay down most of my ideas and I've made a couple complete songs on there also, just to have that warmth and that I guess the feel of the tape. So. Really passionate about basketball. Basketball was my go-to thing. I was playing basketball. I was planning to go play basketball in college. That's how confident I was about basketball. And I go to high school, and this basketball coach, let's just say he's not about the people of color. He's not about that shit. So I didn't do too well trying to make it on the team. Like he just wouldn't. I don't know. We got all political and all this shit. So basically, my dreams got crushed in basketball. Started smoking some weed. Then came this entity called Tragic Murder, and he. This is when the internet, internet rappers started posting songs online. This is when like MP3.com was the thing. I was on this site called D-Music, where there was like tournaments and all these battles and forums. But anyways, Tragic Murder came about that way, and I made just like a mixtape on a CD, like in any other dude at the gas station does. I took it to school. I sold these for $2 a piece, and that same day I left with $200 in my pocket from selling these mixtapes. And that's when I really just like, all right, I'm gonna start making music. Start stealing beats off SoundClick and rapping over dudes' beats, not even caring. Having my features with my homies and stuff, just spitting real ignorant stuff, not even caring. It was good. I meant for it to be kind of funny, not like a real like serious thing. But then, as I got older, I ran into other problems, and it became a way to vent and use it as an outlet. And this is when things became more serious, and I eventually graduated high school, and that's when I met Reach. And Reach he came over to my house, where I was staying, living with my mom. I was like 18, 19. And this dude came over to my house, and I got to spit like a song for this dude. And he was like really impressed, really like believed in me. And he got me my first show. And before that show happened, I decided to change my name to Awe, which was AWE. And Awe was just like this lyricist, this rapper, conscious rapper, I guess. And he was also the Drunken Master. And I released the album that I don't know who all has, but it's called The Drunken Master. And I spent a lot of good time on that project, and I was actually pretty proud of that one. And then along with that, I had started a crew called Newport Fresh, which was pretty much a group of artists / skaters / just youthful group of people. And I just started producing beats, and we started making all these podcasts where each of our artists would spit or sing over these beats. We'd just do new songs each podcast, and that's what kind of made it fresh. That's what made it Newport Fresh, was each time we put out a podcast, which was I don't know, it was almost every 2 months or sometimes longer where we'd put out one of these podcasts and it'd be a fresh batch of songs that no one has ever heard. And then we started getting homies involved and trying to do stuff in our community. We had our first show, I remember that, where everyone who was on the podcast came performed the songs that were on the podcast. And everyone knew the words to all the songs, and it was a really great thing. Newport Fresh was. And then it just got a little complicated, people's egos and such, and then I had a huge workload that was not being distributed right, and I just felt overwhelmed. And I had to, for the sake of being an artist and continuing to be an artist, I had to cut that shit off and start in a new direction. That's when I kind of fell off of rapping and doing lyrics for a while and just focused on a lot of beats. And I created this new persona called Osiris One. And Osiris One was around for a very long time. And I dropped a shitload of albums as Osiris One. And this was probably the first generation of SoundCloud, when SoundCloud was just sprouting up, and like people who made these kind of beats, these hip-hop, off-kilter, but still futuristic kind of beats, were just sprouting. Like I remember talking to Act Right and Professor Logic and this guy named Broke, who's really fucking super dope, Weirdo. We were all coming up in this beat community that was SoundCloud, where eventually most of these motherfuckers would become famous for doing that shit. And SoundCloud would just become oversaturated with shit. But that was Osiris One. He had about 18,000 followers on his SoundCloud. And that's when I just kind of got over that sound, I guess. I grew out of it and wanted to become more of an individual. And that's when I decided to become Rick Maun, which was my name. My name's actually Rick Mauna, but I dropped the A because people have just called me Rick Maun for a very long time. Now I make the music I make now, which is lo-fi, shitty beats. But yes, Intelligent Sound came along eventually also. And that's when I met Peter. And Peter, I talked to Peter online for a bit. He knew Hummus. Hummus was like, here, you should get to know each other. And I was already doing shows as Osiris One with my SP, just like, there was no for real beat scene, or there were no beat shows for real. There was like EDM type shows, like, you know, but no one really playing beats on machines and like bringing their studio, like their home equipment out. So Pete comes out to one of my shows and I remember playing like the shittiest show I ever played. I remember I couldn't even hear what I was doing. I just thought the whole thing was shitty. But I met Pete and he said I did a good job, and we went to the alley, smoked some weed. He was telling me about Intelligent Sound. He was telling me about Niche, how they like built their own sound system. And then he had this idea to start a label of some sort. And I had mentioned that I already had a successful project out, which was The Eightfold Path, which I put out as Osiris One just through Bandcamp, and it had a lot of success. And he wanted to reissue that on cassette tape as Intelligent Sound's first release, and that's when he put that out, and Intelligent Sound was born. Do outside of work, or not outside of work, but I guess music. I like to play video games, which I have not had a lot of time to do lately. I need to get back on it, play some video games. I've been trying to play that Horizon Zero Dawn. I tried to play Final Fantasy. I did not get into it. I play a little bit of The Witcher here lately, just because I have it. Witcher 3. I want to play Neo. But I like games more like Planet Coaster and SimCity too. Like those are the games I like to play. I like to play. What's the name of that one? I forget the name of it. It's like SimCity, but it's different. It's like you build a city, but it's better than SimCity. Anyways, I like to play those kind of games. I like to play Rocket League and Pokemon, which I've been playing, trying to catch some Pokemon. Other than video games, and music. Oh yeah, cartoons. I'd be watching some cartoons. I watch some animes, you know, the usual animes. I keep the movies in rotation, like Akira and you know, the Miyazaki movies. Lately, this dude got me on watching this Food Wars go down. I've been watching that quite a bit. It's basically where this kid who cooks with his dad ends up going to school. And the school is like an elite cooking school, and you could like be expelled just like that for whatever reason. And it has all these master chefs up in there, and this kid just goes there and kicks everybody's ass pretty much and cooks like the illest dishes. And then they teach you how to cook the dish. They talk about like the chemistry of it, the science of cooking that dish, and it goes really in depth. And sometimes it takes too long for the fucking thing to progress because they're too much into it. So it's like Dragon Ball Z in a way. How long the episodes be running. My favorite though is definitely Samurai Champloo, Cowboy Bebop. You know, I could always go back and rewatch those, especially with the music in Samurai Champloo. Some of my favorite music I've ever heard. So.
That's Shin-Chan, nigga.
And Shin-Chan. Shin-Chan. I feel like I'm Shin-Chan sometimes. Maybe because I want to be Shin-Chan. I want to walk around with my ass hanging out. FUKLYFE is an interesting thing because I said I was going to originally do it as a joke, and over the years the jokes turned into all these great ideas that eventually turned into FUKLYFE. And FUKLYFE started because the reason it's named FUKLYFE is because it's kind of a saying that I've used for a long time. When shit happens, you're just kind of like, fuck life, you know? And it's not like a negative thing, it's a very positive thing. Like, you're moving on and you're letting shit just happen organically, and you're saying fuck it and doing continuing forward motion, progress. So with that being said, that's how FUKLYFE became what it is. As far as what exactly it is, that's a pretty good fucking question. I kind of just want to say it just is, and it can be whatever everyone involved with it wants to make it. It's fashion, it's art, it's music, all types of music. It's visual, you know. It could be video games. We're about to do some shows too that don't even make any sense. So it's kind of just a mentality, I would say, where how to just keep focusing on your goals, and you know, bad shit is gonna happen. Fuck life. project called Anxiety, which is really, I've been working on it since last summer, when a lot of life-changing events had occurred with me in my personal life. So I've been working on that, and it's finally becoming a whole idea, and really excited to release that. Other than that, I'm working on a couple beat tapes, working on Good Tapes, which is another sub-label kind of ideal under Intelligent Sound that we have to drop tapes for charity and just continue doing good for our community and the world, pretty much. Doing another beat tape for Datura Records, which is a label ran by Approach out in Lawrence, and he's gonna have a beat tape for me. And of course, working on all these FUKLYFE projects, which is the main thing after Anxiety, and it's not even, kind of learning to do more behind the scenes things, and I've learned a lot through Intelligent Sound to transfer over to FUKLYFE to be able to put out projects and have some kind of organization, which I was never really good at. So a couple of those things I don't really want to share, but I could say we do have a compilation we're gonna put out, and we also have another tape we're working on with a couple bands, some punk bands and metal bands and some jazz bands that we're working with to put out a tape. And after that, there's going to be solo projects from artists who I've grown to know here in the past year. And as far as the artists are concerned, there's no really roster. It's just whoever has an idea for FUKLYFE could easily approach me and be like, look, I have this, I think it fits your aesthetic, whatever, and let's put it out, let's make it a record. And this could be anything. It's also visually any media, I guess. So I'm working on that, trying to keep that organized and have it get going. Other than that, it's just, I think that's it.
Who is Rick Maun?
That's a really good fucking question.
Panda, the one that catches cancer.